everyone, it's Louise with Louise McKay Art, and welcome to my channel. And I assure you, you are not in a time warp. These are ornaments that I'm creating in summertime. And this is a video that I created last year during the 24 season, but never shared because I was in the throes of lots of different ornament creations for people. What I'm going to share with you today is a bloom transfer on a disc ornament. And while it's not the Christmas season yet, this is the time to start creating for Christmas, especially if you have fall craft shows and so forth. So here we go. I'm going to show you what I do. So what I've got here for colors. The first color I just laid down is golden cerulean blue with folk art deep Atlantic blue, and then Amsterdam's greenish blue. First color was this cerulean blue deep by Golden. I know I could have just used a turquoise, but I had color already, and so I built upon it, and so I mixed and matched a little bit. This last color here is my typical gold combination. It's 24 karat gold with my deco art with my iridescent gold by Golden. This here is, it's really thick. It's Prism Porous Chantilly lace with Golden's iridescent pearl. And for something of this size, I don't worry so much about anything being too thick. And actually, thicker is better for this because the paint's gonna hold together better. This is my, I think it's pretty much Carbon Black by Golden, and it is also thick. So we're gonna lay a little of that down. And so what I've got over here is my last one. And it's dripping down the bottom. And I've showed videos of this before. So what I do, and what I've discovered also, is that the best thing to do to get that forming a nipple in the bottom is to just let it sit. Let the gravity just take hold of it. So blowing on it is good because it helps guide it. But the best and smoothest way to get that nice nipple at the bottom is to let it just go. So I'm going to blow this out in the meantime. And then I'm going to go back to this, and I'm going to blow all the drips that are down there into the middle. Let me just show you where we are, if I can. I'm showing here how gravity becomes an artist by pulling all the paint to the center. That's where it is. That's what it looks like from the side. So I'm just letting it congeal, and I'll blow it down as we go. And in the meantime, I'm going to work on this. And this, my color's already down. Here's my Australian Floetrol Cell Activator, titanium white. This is also thick. Everything is thick. And by the way, the paint I'm using here is my recycled scrap paint, because I don't need pristine paint. Plus, this stuff is thicker and it's going to be more robust, holding down to that ornament. Because the last thing I want is this composition, after I blow it out, to just kind of spread out and disappear. So in my opinion, the thicker, the better. Got a couple air bubbles. So my way of looking at it, thicker the better. All right, here we go. Australian. I do have a video 141 of my American Floetrol Cell Activator recipe. If you want to see that as an alternative to the Australian. I just happen to have a bunch of Australian. I'm just trying to use it up. A dollop of white, Oxide Black, stir it up, drop it down, give the blow. So here I'm just blowing down straight into the center to get the cell activator to start to spread out, so then I can get a hold of it and blow it out from each direction. And if you find the blowout challenging, I have a video 419, I'll link it above, called The Art of the Blow. When I was in DC last year, I discovered, especially with some of the very new people, they had problems finding their blow. So in the video, I show you a cheat of how to find your blow and how the speed and angle affect the result. Give it some time to come back. Let's keep blowing on this guy. There is a whole other aspect to this that I haven't shared with you guys. You're just going to have to figure it out. And that is how I coax the drip into one nipple afterward with the toothpick. And this long flexible hose that I'm blowing through is like a fish tank hose. You can find it at a Lowe's or a pet store or any department store. It's a long flexible hose. You can cut to size. Give this a spin. So everything is just kind of happening all at the same time. Meanwhile, I can also go over there to where my staged drying pieces are and help the drips come down the right way. So there's a lot going on all at the same time. This is actually a great technique for somebody with significant ADD, because you got to keep on all cylinders on all different things, and you have enough things here to keep you busy. So I got this spinning out, I got this dripping down, I got that over there. So I'm going to start coaxing this with my toothpick into one centralized nipple. And don't go anywhere. That bloom that's spinning out, I will scoop it up and put it onto a new ornament, and you'll get to see that whole process as well. And I know I'm not showing you, but you know what? I can only show you guys so much. I don't have another camera here to help you out with showing you the rest of this. I suppose I should do an entire curriculum on ornament making with all the ins and outs on it. Of course, that would be for next year if I do anything. Okay, so I'm going to call this done. Here it is. I'll do an overhead on it. So yeah, I'm gonna get it all congealed, and then I'll be back for the next ornament. Meanwhile, I'm gonna spin this one out again, let it stretch a little more, and I'll be back. And all I'm gonna do now is I'm just going to load this ornament up with the pillow paint. Like I said, this is just my scraps. This is a skewer inserted into a wine cork that I got from a bar down the hill. You know, wine bar, whatever. You know, you don't need to buy it off Amazon. If you've got any bars in town, they're going to have corks. And that's where I got these from. Skewer, wine cork, Ryobi, just a drill. I use the drill for a lot of things. If you ever watch me and you see me do my fusion pieces, I use this as part of my sanding process. Plus, you just need it. You need one anyway for like inserting hardware on your paintings. I use this for stability and ease. I always have this set the same way, so my ornament is going in the same way every time. The only thing that's altering between ornaments is the way the skewer fits into the cork. You know, sometimes it's a little on an angle or whatever, just because of the way I stuffed it in. Okay, return the extra to the container. Okay, so now we got this over here that I need to pick up. And I'm also finding, the faster I do it, the better. Look at this. So what I'm going to show you here is charging up that putty knife with some of the drippings so that when I go to scoop the composition, I don't have it roll over itself. I discovered this a couple of years ago when I was playing with the ornaments for the first time. I charge up my palette knife with some drippings. So when I do the scoop, the leading edge of this does not roll over itself. So I'm going to pick the side I want to have primary. Here's another little tip. Probably something you've never heard before. The first side you go for, of course, is going to be the last side off, which means you're going to lose most of that side. So I want to pick the side that has the least amount of interest. So the way I see it, this has got the least amount of interest. So that's the side that's going to fall off. So I'm going to pick this up, and I'm going to scoop it. And I find that scooping a little faster is easier. It's better for the bloom. I'm going to get that thing on here. So here we are. So you can already see the leading edge is starting to roll over itself. But that's okay, because that leading edge is going to come off last. And then we lay it down. Angle this all the way up so I get all the paint off as much as possible. I also find that if this gets dry, it gets stringers on it. And sometimes when you use the palette knife to pick up, you get the stringers, and then when you're laying it down, you get something in the paint, and then it turns into it could turn into a mess. Actually, most times it turns into something really cool, a little extra design. But sometimes you risk the chance of ruining it because this string is mixed into the paint. Just imagine you have a hair in there. It's in the paint and it kind of flows through. So we're gonna let that go. Let's see, where am I? What am I? All right, so this is number 3. I'm gonna have to tilt this way a little bit. I want it to slide off some of this direction because I don't like the way this turned out. I hesitated right there. You can see, just like when you do any transfer, if you hesitate at all, it shows up. Even a swipe. So I'm going to let gravity help me out here. Okay, in the meantime, I will go for another one. The next bloom for the new ornament that'll be coming after this one. I'm just going to let gravity do its thing over on this, to my right. And we'll make the new ornament on my left. You keep going on this, in this way, until you're tired of making these. Oh, see, look at that. Oh, what was that? See, look at this. I got a goober in here really bad. Yeah, the other thing is, when you've used your cups a number of times, you probably either need to clean them and to reuse them or discard them altogether. Okay. Tilt it out. I know I have the spinner, but to me it's easier just to tilt it out, to stretch it. I want to have it as stretched as possible before I go to lay it down on this. This is beautiful. So everyone, that's a wrap. I'm going to take a break right here because you've already seen the rest of the process. So here are those ornaments that I created from that set in this grouping. Now, what I haven't shown you here is varnishing, and I put 2 coats of Liquitex gloss varnish on here, and I will link a video above that shows that process because most all of my other ornament videos I have that included. So I just wanted to give you an up close and personal of what this bloom transfer looks like. And then I'm going to show you a couple vignette videos that show you the front and the back of how the back turns out that you haven't seen so far. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. It does seem early in the season, but it's really not when you think about how soon craft fairs will be coming just around the corner. Plus, I'm going to shamelessly plug myself here. If you would like to commission me to make ornaments for you, just reach out to me in my email, which is in the description. And by the way, as far as description goes, check out my description anyway. I have videos that show the products I use. Plus, I have direct links to the most helpful videos. At the end here, I'm going to have a link to my playlist for other ornaments if you want to see other color combinations and other creations. And I invite you to check out my playlist anyway for other types of creations as well, broken down by categories. So I think with that, everybody, that's all I have for now. Take care. Until next time.